The Master says the gate is wide and the path is broad. It means that temptations will be great and only our diligence will protect us against them. If not, deviations will prevail. He reminds us that in truth, the gate is small and the way is narrow, with little room for error, for the natural laws are unrelenting, and we are not predisposed to accept or reject them in our illusionary reality. We should accept them as real because if the Master was aware of them and used them for his purpose, so could we if we learn to abide by them. He said that what we will do will be very obvious, for we will know each other by the richness of our crops. If we were to follow our conscience and be aware of the principles of life, we would have the opportunity to build ourselves a stronger foundation. If our base is not strengthened, it will be destroyed by the obstacles of life that will challenge us along our journey. We must acknowledge that material reality presents many difficulties for most of us. If a person realizes that he or she has a good life, that person will be protected by that perception, making the journey somewhat easier. The aforementioned foundation is the understanding of life and the nature of how things operate, both within and without ourselves. For we are the first cause of our material world. The within is the first cause, not life, as most of us believe. According to the deep convictions of this author, we see life as the cause and not the self. Life is a reflection of our own being. We seem to be perfectly satisfied simply looking at the reflection rather than realizing that the image originates with us as its creator. If we learn to work with this concept of the natural laws, we will have a much stronger foundation, and it would be steadfast. Like intuition and reincarnation, spiritual communication is another subject worthy of discussion, as it is indeed the essence, what we define as prayer. These subjects appear throughout the Bible text. Prayer is something that we all practice or have practiced, whether willfully or instinctively, mostly in silent reverence, but aloud as well. It is one of the natural laws of the universe. We pray through our soul to send a message to higher consciousness. The Master demonstrated this on many occasions. In life, we communicate physically and mentally with each other. There is also an emotional and spiritual element that we do not see or hear directly. For instance, we all desire to be in contact with God, but we seem to have difficulties receiving an answer. Whether positive or negative, the response does indeed take place. Were we to listen to the finer forms of mental or physical expression, or open our hearts and minds in meditation. Some religious-minded individuals or organizations will tell you that, by their standards, it is quite pretentious and even evil. Let me read that again. Some religious-minded individuals or organizations will tell you that by their standards, it is quite pretentious and even evil. Actually, it is quite natural. How else would anyone experience guidance from the Creator if it was not for an inner request motivated by faith and that we call prayer? Matthew 10:19, verse 20. But when they deliver you up, take no thought how or what ye shall speak, for it shall be given you in the same hour what ye shall speak. 20. For it is not ye that speak, but the Spirit of your Father which speaketh in you. Our silent appeal should not be generated by a quick reaction to what others do in life. We should react to nothing, because doing so, we relinquish the control we have over ourselves and pass it on to the person who created such reaction. Wisdom tells us that we should act rather than react to maintain a peaceful inner balance. Ache 13. This is from A Metaphysical Interpretation of the Bible by Stephen L Hairfield, PhD, the Revised Edition, and that was page 262. Today is 5/11/2021, and it was just a divine time. My son decided that he wanted to come have some Bible study with me, and I told him, great. I said, you open up the page today. So he shuffled the pages, and he opened up to this page, and he read it so eloquently, and I was just like, I have to share this one. This one was just so on point. I hope it made sense to you. I hope that you receive it and utilize it and know that you have all of the power. Ache 13. Make it up in your mind. Make that connection with God. Adios.